Hello, my name is Chelsea. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I do have a page called Beating the Odds with Callie and Carter for two special little girls. They are my world, and I try to be their voice and their teacher, as well as being their mother. This is going to be a little bit of a story talking about how I told four doctors that I was not going to abort my two precious babies. So in June 2016, I found out I was pregnant and I was ecstatic. My husband and I have been wanting a baby for so long, and the opportunity arose. About 5 days later, I went in for a medication change and also an ultrasound to make sure everything was all right. Well, during the ultrasound, they told me that I was going to have a miscarriage because there was no heartbeat. We went through 2 weeks with no miscarriage, and then we went on to have a viability test at 8 weeks with a different doctor. The ultrasound went fine. Everything was perfect. The baby had a heartbeat, but whenever the ultrasound tech left and brought the doctor in, he immediately opened up the conversation with, "Are you cramping or bleeding?" I knew then something was wrong. I immediately told him no, and he followed with, "Your twins are stuck together." I wish I could tell you what went through my mind, but I can't. I know twins went through my mind and stuck together, and the rest is black. I blacked out. I couldn't tell you. 2 weeks after that, I went to a specialist in Boise after the first doctor told me I needed to terminate. The doctor in Boise recommended termination, and we told him no, it was not going to happen. We thought about it for a week, and once we thought about it, we couldn't do it. So we went back to the doctor and told him no, there was no way we were going to possibly terminate. He had a doctor from Texas Children's Hospital up in Boise to help him with a certain surgery, and we were able to talk with this doctor, and he gave us some odds. The odds of these twins even making it to birth were extremely slim. They had a few things that were wrong with them at the moment, and the odds he gave us were 20%, I do believe, 20-25% of just making it to term, not making it to the point where these babies are going to live. The baby's going to live all the way to a term pregnancy was less than a 5% chance. We carried through. We went to the doctor every week down in Twin Falls, and he always opened the conversation with, "Have you miscarried? Have you changed your mind about termination?" And which we never did. At 14 weeks, we went to a different doctor in Idaho Falls who opened up the discussion of termination but realized that that is not what we wanted. So he said, "Okay, that's totally fine. I will get you a doctor from Salt Lake." So we went to the doctor from Salt Lake who told us that we actually indeed had an 80% chance of the twins making it to term because the issues that we had at 10 weeks were no longer there, and he seen no reason why these beautiful twins could not make it to birth. He also told me that there was two options that we could go to. We could either, one, go to Philadelphia, or two, go to Texas Children's. And this is the second time we have heard Texas Children's brought up in our conversation these past 5-6 weeks. So we told him, yes, that we were going to go ahead and pick Texas Children's, and he told me that if I made it to the 20-week mark, that we were going to Texas. For those of you who don't know, I live in Idaho. Texas is a very long ways away for us. So we went to the doctor once, twice a week, maybe, depending on how symptoms were arising, how the babies were doing. The babies did fine. Heartbeats never went below the normal range. Babies always grew on schedule. And then the 20-week mark hit. Whenever the 20-week mark hit, we told our doctor, who had given us so much hope, goodbye, and we left to Texas Children's Hospital. It was a painful 3-day car ride as me being 20 weeks pregnant, and I never want to do that again. We were in Texas up until delivery, which was 36 weeks. We had MRIs, numerous ultrasounds, numerous echocardiograms. The day came, January 30th, when I had to deliver my twins. They delivered me at 36 weeks, 6 days, and I couldn't tell you how scared I was. It was the most terrifying thing in my entire life, but I'm sure it was the most terrifying for my husband. We went through a C-section. I was awake. My husband was in the room. I have a 3-year-old son at the time who was at home with my mom, because she flew down to from Idaho to be in Texas with him while I had the babies. I had a classical C-section, which is a bigger cut, and it also goes vertical instead of horizontal. I went to the room hoping for the best, and I heard my two babies' first cries at 11:39 a.m. I couldn't tell you how excited I was. I kept asking which one was crying, which one was, how were they doing, and my doctor knew my concerns. I had the best doctor in Texas Children's, and Dr. Davies made sure that there was somebody next to me explaining to me what was going on with my twins the whole time as they were under the microscope, as they were under the monitors, they were getting their IVs. He told me everything possible. He was a really good doctor, and he's still the girl's doctor to me. The babies, it was hard. There was 31 doctors in the room, including the baby's doctors, including the surgeons, the nurses, the anesthesiologist, anyone to help. Those 24 hours was hard because in 24 hours that makes or breaks it. They always say that you know how your baby's going to do after 24 hours with the condition that they have. Them making it to this point was less than 5% chance, so I just hope for the best. Once I was able to get up and walk, once the anesthesia wore off, the spinal tap wore off, the epidural wore off, I was up. I was going to those babies and nothing was stopping me. I was so tired I couldn't even tell you the first time I held my babies, but I know it was a great moment, and I soaked it up. I probably had 2 hours of sleep the night before. I had 3 hours of sleep that night, and I was exhausted, but I just kept going for them babies. The babies did good. They didn't even need IVs. We did a CT scan. They looked at how their internal organs were, and everything was fine. They didn't need to be at Texas Children's Hospital. We could have delivered in a regular hospital, honestly, but I'm glad we were there. We left 5.5 weeks, and the 5.5 weeks was not needed for the twins. It was only because we were waiting for a special car seat. Some of you may be wondering, what the heck is she talking about? What's going on with her twins? I am Chelsea Torres, and I am the mother of Callie and Carter, who are conjoined twins who are not to be separated. My husband and I talked with the doctors, and we have decided against separation. The doctors have told us that because the twins are so healthy that they do not need separation. Callie and Carter have 2 legs between them. Callie has the right leg, Carter controls the left leg. They have 4 arms between them, which are both functional. Separate torsos between them. About the belly button is where they have one body that works amazingly perfect just for them. They are the most precious babies you will ever see, and I plan on sharing videos of them if the blog just kind of takes off a bit and more people are interested in how our everyday lives go. I plan on showing more things about the twins because I think that other people need to realize that even though this is something that has happened, this isn't something that is bad, even if they are inseparable. They're here, they're alive, and they're healthy, even with a less than 5% chance of them surviving birth. Probably even more or less percent chance of them actually being born healthy with no medications, no vitamins. I nurse them. We do everything the way Callie and Carter were meant to do it. And I do not think that anything that happened with them is an issue. Some people look at us in the middle of Walmart, some people look at us at a restaurant, and they just have these faces that are they're sad for us, but we aren't sad. We are happy, and these are our miracle twins. If you want to see our miracle twins, they are on my Facebook page called Beating the Odds with Callie and Carter. If you want to follow our story, that's the place to do it. My name is Chelsea Torres, and this is the story of my really, really high-risk pregnancy, and I hope anyone who is dealing with conjoined twins can get in touch with me on the girls' Facebook page. And personal page, just go ahead and message me. I am here for you, and I can get you the help you need.